My wife texted, "I want a divorce. All communication through my lawyer." I replied, "Understood." Then I canceled her credit card's cut. All financial support. 72 hours later, her lawyer was frantically calling me. I am still processing, but mostly just operating on autopilot. I'm Michael, 42. 3 days ago, on Tuesday afternoon, I was deep into my work spreadsheets when my phone buzzed. The message was from my wife, Sarah, 39. "Michael, I want a divorce. Please direct all future communication. Through my lawyer, Mr. Johnson, I'll send his contact details." 15 years of marriage ended with a single brutal text, and no warning. The night before, we'd had dinner and talked about weekend plans. Everything felt normal. I stared at her message for 5 minutes, feeling shock, hurt, and anger, though on the surface I was oddly calm. Sarah had set the terms, "lawyers only." So I replied, "Understood," and then got practical. Because legal channels were now the only ones that mattered, all our informal financial arrangements were instantly void. We'd always kept day-to-day finances separate. She had her own account, and I had mine. But she also had supplementary cards on my accounts as an authorized user, so I logged in, canceled those cards, and reported her no longer authorized. Next, I transferred her monthly allowance for discretionary spending, only to cancel the recurring transfer. Then I logged into the streaming services we shared under my name, Netflix, Prime, and the rest, and logged her out of every device, changing all my passwords. If she wanted streaming now, she could pay for it herself. The car she drives is leased in my name and insured under my policy. I didn't cancel her insurance, too risky, but made a note to discuss transferring the lease with my lawyer, Ms. Davis. The gas card tied to that car and to one of my credit cards was useless once the card was canceled. It took about 30 minutes to cut everything off. Not revenge, just accepting the new reality she'd dictated. An hour later, I got Sarah's lawyer's contact details by email. I forwarded them immediately to Ms. Davis, a top divorce attorney a colleague recommended. I emailed Ms. Davis to set up representation. Then I stopped all personal contact as Sarah's text demanded. That first night, I went home, finished my work project, and found the house empty. It looked like she'd packed while I was out. I slept surprisingly well. 72 hours later, on Friday afternoon, an unknown number called me. I answered, "Hello? Is this Michael Smith?" "Yes." "This is Mr. Johnson. I represent Sarah Smith. My client is experiencing some difficulties." He sounded sharp, impatient. He told me her cards had been declined and her funds cut off abruptly. "Highly irregular," he said. I explained calmly that Sarah had texted on Tuesday demanding a divorce and insisting on lawyer-only communication, so I had complied. No informal support would continue without a formal legal agreement. I added that I'd retained Ms. Davis. After a pause, he said Sarah needed funds for necessities and insisted on emergency relief. I replied that was her prerogative, and that he should direct his filings to Ms. Davis. He agreed, and the call ended. My heart pounded, but I felt a strange sense of validation. She had wanted everything cold and legal, so that's exactly what she'd get. I spent the weekend waiting for Ms. Davis to call. 1 week later, things heated up as expected. Ms. Davis called me the same day I'd retained her, and on Monday, Mr. Johnson filed for emergency temporary spousal support and exclusive use of our marital home, which Sarah had already left. The amount he requested was astronomical. Her old lifestyle, plus new housing, plus legal fees. Ms. Davis countered with a much lower temporary support figure based on actual need, noting that Sarah had already vacated the home I still occupy, and pointing out that I'd only cut off informal support because she herself had closed the door on our marriage. Then things got personal. On Wednesday night, Sarah's best friend Emily called me. I answered, hoping for insight, and immediately regretted it when she yelled, "Michael?" What the actual fuck? I can't talk about it. Haley called me. Angry. Don't Haley me. Olivia's on my couch. You cut her off. She can't even buy groceries. Are you making her homeless? I stayed calm. Olivia texted me demanding a divorce and said all future communication must go through her lawyer, Mr. Peterson. I'm just following her rules. Haley screamed. Bullshit. You know she barely works. How is she supposed to live? She's terrified, I replied. Olivia's part-time graphic design covers a month on my couch. Before this, it was just fun money. She hired a lawyer without talking to me. All money issues must go through her lawyer and mine. That's the process she chose. Haley accused me of being cruel and vindictive after 15 years and said Olivia was emotional and made a mistake. I said, telling us to use lawyers was her mistake. Hiring Mr. Peterson, was that a mistake too? Haley fell silent, then insisted Olivia deserved support because I always took care of her. I answered, I would have discussed things if she hadn't ended our marriage by text and lawyered up. She set the rules. We follow them. Haley spat. She'll take you for everything. I said calmly, she can try. If she files legally, my attorney, Miss Cole, handles it. Goodbye, and hung up. Later, I got a bank alert. Someone tried to withdraw about $500 from a forgotten joint account. I called the bank, explained the divorce, and froze the account until there's a legal agreement. Ms. Cole says this helps our case. It shows Olivia's trying to bypass the lawyer-only rule. Now I'm waiting for the emergency support hearing. Olivia's still couch surfing at Haley's, and Mr. Peterson is probably realizing there's no blank check here. I feel less shocked and more determined. This is going to be rough. 3 weeks later. We had the emergency hearing. Olivia looked stressed and avoided my eyes. Mr. Peterson argued she was destitute because of my actions. Ms. Cole calmly showed Olivia's text, demanding lawyers only, bank statements proving I only cut off her cards after that text, and proof I still pay the mortgage, utilities, and insurance. She also showed Olivia's attempt to drain the old joint account and Olivia's part-time income, demonstrating she wasn't destitute, just missing discretionary funds. The judge was skeptical of Mr. Peterson's drama, asked why Olivia never talked to me first, and ruled temporary support in line with our request. Enough for basic needs and some legal fees, but nothing for her old lifestyle. The judge noted Olivia's own text, and the account drain attempt led to her situation. This week, the real battles began. Dirty trick, year 1. HR told me about an anonymous complaint claiming I misused company resources for personal legal work and acted erratically. It was false. I only use personal devices and email. My boss knows me. HR found nothing and dismissed it. Ms. Cole noted it as part of a pattern. Dirty trick number 2. Olivia's mother called in tears accusing me of cruelty, saying the judge was unfair, and demanding I give Olivia more money for all the years she gave me. I repeated, Olivia chose this path. Lawyers handle all financials per her request. Can't discuss. Haley called again, called me heartless, then hung up. Relentless emotional manipulation. They really thought I'd keep paying forever. My response, stick to logic under fire. Their tactics just clarified that simply reacting wasn't enough. I needed to secure my position legally and close avenues for manipulation, strictly by the book. The car. Ms. Cole sent Mr. Peterson a letter. Temporary support is set. Now Olivia must take over the lease if she qualifies, or return the car. I'll stop payments next cycle. Insurance I maintained will end in 30 days. The house. I filed for exclusive use since she left, and the judge denied her. We've begun valuing it for buyout. Unlikely she can afford it, but it establishes clear legal control. Asset division. I'm pushing for full financial discovery, suspecting hidden assets. It's legally required, and hiding assets risks court trouble. Documenting harassment. I'm logging every manipulative call with dates, times, and summaries. Ms. Cole says a pattern of bad faith tactics will influence final fees. It's not revenge. It's methodically managing the situation within the legal boundaries Olivia set, especially now that they resort to underhanded tactics. The HR complaint crossed a line, making firm, decisive legal steps essential. Yesterday, Olivia texted me directly, breaking her own rule. "Ethan, you can't take the car. How will I get anywhere? Paul, stop this." I screenshotted it, sent it to Ms. Cole, and replied, "Olivia, per your instructions, all communication via lawyers, contact Mr. Peterson." Silence. Final update, 6 months later. About 7 months since the text. Divorce finalized last month. The past 6 months were legal trench warfare. Mr. Peterson delayed, Olivia played victim and rejected reasonable offers. The car. Olivia couldn't qualify to take over the lease and refused to return it. Mr. Peterson argued necessity. Ms. Cole showed temporary support covers basic transport. After the deadline passed, I informed the leasing company I wouldn't pay. She wasn't an authorized driver, so the car was repossessed outside Haley's place. Cue frantic calls from Haley and Olivia's mom. They were ignored and forwarded to Ms. Cole. Olivia was furious, but legally cornered by her own choices. The house. I got the exclusive use order, sold it quickly, and the equity is in escrow pending division. Olivia fought for more, claiming economic disadvantage. Full financial discovery revealed she had a separate savings account funded by her parents and some inherited stocks, more than the $500 in the old joint account. Mr. Peterson argued that was separate property, but Ms. Cole proved it was commingled and thus marital. Anonymous complaint. No direct proof, but the judge noted its timing in final proceedings. It didn't win me damages, but added to the bad faith picture. Final settlement. We settled just before a contested trial. The judge was impatient with Olivia's tactics, warning her she'd face worse outcomes and possibly pay my fees. Olivia agreed. House equity is nearly split 50-50, with a slight edge to me for her hidden assets. Stocks were divided as marital property. She kept her small personal savings. Spousal support. Rehabilitative alimony for 2 years, far less than she demanded, enough to help her transition, contingent on her efforts to become self-supporting. Legal fees. Each of us pays our own, a win, since I avoided fighting for her to pay mine. Aftermath. Olivia's in a small apartment and working more, complaining about money, mostly indirectly through others. Haley has distanced herself since Olivia became a burden. Olivia's parents likely help still. She's shown no remorse or apology and seems baffled I didn't just fund her life after detonating our marriage. The entitlement runs deep.